Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So we are now beginning of August, and last time I've done the garden update, I think it was approximately 3 weeks ago, when we talked about, the random things that are happening up above us and the effect it seemed to have had on the garden and on the wildlife. But then of course we talked about still being as a prepared people or trying to go forward. I wanted to continue sowing some stuff and of course harvesting, so we've got things are ready for the winter season, a winter month in fact. Anyway, since the 3 weeks have passed, I've got to say there's certain things have changed and certain things I've noticed again which are really bizarre. And I know guys, we understand what's happening up there yet again, but it doesn't always feel like things just no longer add up. Things just feel really strange on more than one level. It's just the plants are not growing. Anyway, I am going to be showing you around the garden to show you really what's happened, because some things that just literally just died pretty much overnight. Really peculiar. And I know a lot of you have shared your thoughts on what's happening and how's your garden doing, but I just feel somewhat that things just been always turned overnight. There's a couple of other things that I really noticed, and again, it could be just me, but in fact it's not just myself, because Mr. Daniel has noticed that as well. It's really peculiar. But at night time, okay, I know it's been warm, but night times currently is about 13 degrees at the moment. I found, right, for the past probably few weeks, it's been very hard to breathe, if I can put it this way. It's really strange because the air is there, obviously, there's a little bit of breeze coming in, but I found it struggling to sort of feel like I'm getting enough air. So, and feeling sort of really muggy, really weird. So now we have a fan permanently in the bedroom for the nighttime, and it goes on. And if you know me, I mentioned before, I hate fans. I hate things like blowing in my face, blowing on me. I just really don't like that. But both of us noticed, okay, for somebody who used to put up fan when it was like 35 degrees, night during the day, and it's really hot at nighttime, to have a fan running at nighttime when it's 13 degrees, that's really peculiar. Another thing as well that was kind of cropping up a few times, and I'm like, didn't really think anything to it, is the mosquitoes. Okay, Wales, it's wet, mosquitoes, they fly around all the time. Before, even when we moved here originally, when you have a mosquito in your bedroom, you forever hearing it buzzing in your ear, right? And you know it's there because it's and trying to get you, and then they'll bite you. But now, right, we've gone through the stage where there was pretty much no mosquitoes for quite a couple of years, in fact, I think. And then suddenly, this is my house I'm talking about specifically, and suddenly there are mosquitoes everywhere. Not everywhere, but there's a lot of them flying about. But they don't seem to make any noise. I can never hear them. And what happens? I wake up in the morning and I've been bitten yet again. And for some reason now, I'm having quite a bad reaction to the mosquito bites, like quite extreme to some point. We did go camping a few weeks back, and I've been bitten like under my eye, like in the weird places twice, okay? But the point is, they seem to be now silent. And it brings me back to something that I talked about, I think very vaguely, where there's a certain things being developed with the, things been developed. I'm gonna keep it coy because of the obviously the words and the algorithm of YouTube, what we allowed or not allowed to say. But there was a things there, and there's been, I think actually in the news, the development been made that they could deliver specific things via, flying, and Mr. Billy Goat Gates, I think actually, in fact, invented one of those. And I suddenly thought, well, what if? Because, well, we don't know. But to me, that was just kind of a really weird thing. It's a really weird thing. I don't know, guys, if you noticed any of those things there. And I'm speculating a little bit, but I noticed the change. And I noticed that things are no longer in sync. It's just for some reason, I said to you guys, the eerie word that I explained before. This is the best way to explain when I walk down the garden. But now I feel things are not working. Things are just not syncing with the nature, with everything. Things are just changed. They have changed, but I cannot put my finger what is exactly, because I know, guys, we cannot all blame just that one thing, because it's probably not possible to affect so many things. But it is, to me, it is absolutely crazy. And with the garden, I'll show you, you'll remember or have a look in the past videos, things were doing good, but again, almost overnight, one or the other thing or multiple things have happened that pretty much feel like they annihilated a lot of the things, but one crop. So for me, tomatoes been absolutely perfect, because I've started them early. I've put a lot of the effort. Again, if you've seen the channel, I've done it. So far harvested about 46 kilos of tomatoes. There was 4 kilos of my yellow cherry tomatoes, which are now finished, and I still got probably a good maybe another 5-7 kilos in the greenhouse. And then I have a lated cherry tomatoes in the back, which are in the back of a garden that are been planted later, so they are going to be successionally obviously harvested. But everything else, it's just gone to absolutely pot. So let me grab a camera, guys. I'll turn you around and I'll show you what's happening in the garden. So I'm going to start with the greenhouse I normally start with. This is the one I'm normally filming in. So you can see the tomatoes now had it absolutely fine. I told you I was going to take them out, but I still had a few more ripening. So, and they're still quite high up there, but majority they're out. They need to come out because they started to go manky. So they'll be done at the next available opportunity. My cucumbers, they started well. I've harvested few, but then they just did not do well at all. I've dug some out, and I had some really healthy ones. Like I said to you, I'm going to replace the ones that I've taken out, and they are just not doing anything, okay? The weather's been warm enough for cucumbers. They did fine, and then suddenly they did not. So this is the state, a pathetic state of my cucumbers, which is really unhealthy. It's absolutely pointless. So let's have a look in the greenhouse number 2. So this is greenhouse number 2. You can see I still got some tomatoes left, still quite a bit there, as I said, but plants themselves had it. So I'm going to be harvesting them soon for salads and preserve the rest like I did with the sauces. I had my onions that I pulled out, you've seen, so they've just been drying now, so that's all okay. I've watered, it's been watered, they're just dying. And it's not just because it's too hot, they've been looked after, they just not recovering. And they haven't been. So now they're left, I'm going to harvest the chilies, the few left in there. But the point is, I know they look like they're dry, okay? They have because I haven't watered them now. But after even watering a couple of days in a row, they are just, they just had it. Cucumbers here, the same. It's pretty much the same issue. I have few, they're really weird, random shape. Again, regularly been watered, so it shouldn't be an issue, but they had it. Basil, well, goodbye to the basil. And this is another lot of cucumbers that have been replaced. The ones that I had, they died, and they look absolutely ridiculous as well. Right, so moving on to my middle bed, the one I showed you with the tomatoes. They did okay. You can see a few big ones there, but the plant itself kind of had it. There's a few about. Don't actually know what variety they were, but they're rather big. And my apples, they're not filling up in size. They're good, but they stopped. Again, it's just a little bit bizarre. My strawberries now had it. This was my own fault, as I said. And then my rocket, which is pretty much like kilos and kilos of rockets still there. This is okay. So this is my tomatoes, and they are I believe this sweet million, I think. And you can see I've got a few. They're kind of there. They are going a little bit berserk because of lack of support, but they're happy. They seem to be doing okay. So this is the only thing that's currently doing a-okay. This bed here still, a few tomatoes growing there, quite a few in there. You can see them there, still green, and the volunteer pumpkin is now a big pumpkin, right? And it's just going that way. Oh, you can see the tomatoes in there as well. Beautiful. Couple of courgettes over there, doing some, not a lot considering, but nonetheless, right? This is this sorry state of the affairs. Peas again been munched by the birds, and I have my cucamelons, which I think probably also now been munched. So if I have a look here, I have millions of flies now, influx of blue bottles. I have no idea. I don't know why they're here. They're in this part of the garden. And not because of the chickens, I can assure you that. But yeah, they're just everywhere. Right, so this is another pumpkin there. You can see that hiding over there. And this was my tomato bed. So here, when I showed you my tomatoes, they were nice, they were healthy, and just overnight, they just turned. I had a few moldy ones. They started to go funny little pattern on them, almost a blight, but this is on the tomato itself, like a mildew of some kind. Really weird. So I had to pull all of them out. I did harvest the green ones. Hopefully they're not going to go manky, but this bed is now empty. It was ready for something else. This side again, a few tomatoes you can see there. I've planted my extra tomato plant I had in here. Whether the nature let it or weather let it, I don't know, but it's there anyway. And in here is just flowers and the cucumbers that are not doing very much at all. I can see one cucumber in there, but if you imagine this been weeks, this is normally grows like crazy, and it's just not been. It's been absolutely terrible. I give you that the plums are kind of doing okay, apart from whatever that coating. Somebody said it could be like a tree sap or something on the top, but they not all have it. But look at them, they're kind of nice and purple, but everything else, it's still a dire. It's my beans, consider how many beans I have. I had a handful, right, a couple of big ones left there, but literally they're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. Pumpkin is going there, it's crawling, look, going, and nothing on it. Nothing on them at all. It's just a bit ridiculous. It is ridiculous. But there we are, this is what we've got here. And now the carrots, right? I have pulled out some on the top of the little ones, but I feel, right, every single carrot I now pull out is being eaten. This one's okay, but a lot of them, literally, they've been munched by, you know, where there's a carrot root fly, I don't know, but it is quite high above the ground, so they shouldn't be doing that. But generally, okay, see, it's just been munched. I've pulled up a whole pot of the carrots, a small pot, that every single one of them has been eaten by somebody, which was rather disappointing considering. See that again, look. The heritage variety as well, the multicolored ones, that's been munched. And when I've cut one before, it's pretty much munched literally all the way through, which is rather disappointing. Well, this one is alright, look. It's a cute little carrot. But and the beetroots here not doing that well at all. So there we are, guys. This is pretty sad state of events, I think. And to be fair, I don't really know where to take it from there, because generally I'll say, well, let's get planting. Let's, you know, get ourselves ready for the winter, you know, so we'll have some stuff there. So, okay, I have some kale planted and I've got some tree cabbage, right? So far, I'm thinking I'm leaving this and that. I might replant some potatoes. Potatoes didn't do that good neither. So, but going forward, all the time that it takes for us to do gardening, and yes, I'm so grateful for my tomatoes. It's been amazing. I've made so many sauces, like salsas, you know, 40 something kilos. It's really good. And I still got some growing to eat now, as you have seen. But going forward for the winter, I'm just questioning whether it's worth the time now, because for some reason, whatever is happening, and I know we really had the changes in weather quite a lot. We had, you know, a couple of heat waves, that sort of thing. And I'm pretty sure some of you have gardens that are absolutely thriving. I just can't on earth figure out why suddenly something could just overnight just turn. Nice healthy tomatoes, boom. And I mean like literally pretty much overnight. It is somewhat a little bit disheartening. Luckily, that happened later in the season after I managed to harvest some of them from that patch. So generally that's just a little bit strange. But nonetheless, right, so I just want to hear you guys again, because a lot of you do share what's been happening in your garden, and we have noticed a little bit of the pattern to potentially things, you know, how things have been happening in specific weird diseases or things that are happening to our fruits and vegetables, things like that. So please do comment down below. It'd be interesting to know whether you experienced any of that. And at the same time, please just let me know about the the lack of air, that weird thing that not say you can't breathe, but it's just weird lack of oxygen almost, I want to say. And as I said, windows open, everything there, breeze is there, but the need for the fan to circulate the air to get a better thing, not just for myself, as I said. And the other thing, weird thing as well, we've noticed that with the bumblebees, bees still not a huge amount of them about. I found them, rather than looking for the flowers right now, they seem to want to come and sit on you, or sit on your face, or sit on your nose, which is, I think, is rather strange. It's kind of nice, I suppose, that, or, you know, not maybe comical, I don't know, but the fact is that they should be searching out the flowers and not human beings. They should be really stepping away as far as possible from ourselves, to be fair, but there we are. Anyway, I'm gonna finish that video on that, guys. Please don't forget, thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I shall see you soon. Bye bye.